again. Very beautiful time and great opportunity for us to share a beautiful moment together. I hope that you'll be able to learn a lot from our conversation today. All right, so we have something very important and very dynamic to discuss this afternoon, and I want you to pay attention, right? Do everything necessary to give your time to this conversation. Just listen, all right, because it's very important, very essential, very needful that you do. It's going to save you, a whole lot. So you want to really pay attention. If this is your first time, my name is Joshua Uchechukugeme Arukwe, and I'm the lead coach of Skill Migraine Solutions. What we do at Skill Migraine Solutions is to help skill learners and skill professionals upskill, monetize their expertise, and grow to become industry experts in their skill niche. Basically, that's what it is. And then I'm looking forward to a world where people can live their best life. So basically, I'm looking out to see how to empower, strengthen, and help people to live the best life that they should live. Many persons are living in average, and they're not willing or ready to push forth because of several reasons. So this opportunity is provided to help persons to recognize themselves, recognize their capacity, recognize whatever they have, and help them to boost their strength to achieve those things. So if it's your first time seeing me or joining this live, do well to like. And while the conversation is going on, you have a question, you have something that you want to pinpoint, or you need to be addressed, you just comment in the comment section, and we have that opportunity for you to actually comment. So let's drive. What we're dealing with today is very important. I think of very great essence, very critical. And the topic is what you miss when you don't show up. What you miss when you don't show up. What you miss when you don't show up. Hey, this is a big deal. It's a very critical issue, and I think we really need to have this conversation because some persons drive on with not showing up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events, situations, engagements, all of it, and at the end they're asking themselves, it seems like I'm not getting the best from this platform. It seems like I'm not getting the best from this place. It seems like I'm not getting the best from this relationship. It seems like I'm not getting the best from this thing that I'm doing. All right, you want to know the reason why that is happening to you, and it could be that you miss a lot for not showing up. All right, and I'll be talking about 5 things. Maybe there are more, but I'll focus on these 5 because I feel and I believe they are very critical, very essential to help you get the best from any place you find yourself. All right, so 5 things. The first thing that you miss for not showing up. Okay, before I say that, I think I'll bring in an introduction which I feel is very much applied, very much relevant to this conversation on how this knowledge I'm giving to you applies. This information I'm passing to you is based on what I call priority. So priority is to the end that whatever thing that you are showing up for, or whatever thing that you are doing that is very important, that is very essential, that is beneficial to the long run or to the long goal or to the life that you hope to live, to the best person that you want to be, then this is when you will be missing out. Right? So if it is something that is not necessarily important to you, if it's something that does not necessarily gravitate you to a better place in life, if it's something that's not necessarily what would make you have that great life, then there is nothing to miss. All right, but if it is what you look out for, a system that has been created to bring benefits to you, and you are missing out, then you are really missing out. Yeah. So you want to understand what you miss when you don't show up. Showing up is very important when a thing is important to you. And based on what you count as important, based on what you count as essential, based on what you count as necessary in your life, you would show up for them. It means that there are some things that we have looked out in our lives and we've said that this thing is important to me. But somehow, some way, while we get to engage with life and do several stops, right, we lose the thoughts, lose the understanding, lose the conception of what is really, really, really important. And because this happens, what happens? We are drawn back, we are laid behind, and somehow, some way, we are provoked to have lesser results. Why? Because we did not understand a particular system that originally works with us. All right. So the first thing that you miss when you don't show up is number one, depth. Depth. You are part of a platform, you are part of an organization, you are part of a group, and you guys get to do things, right? Maybe, for example, I'll use my platform Skill Migraine Solutions. We get to do several activities. We have our skill issue challenge, we have our Libras hangout, we have our inside the skill set, we have our we go loud challenge, we have several monthly meetings that we get to engage on. Somehow, some way, you're not showing up for these activities, you're not showing up for these meetings, all right? And you are part of the platform, and you know that this platform is going to help me to upskill. Somehow, some way, it's just happening, all right? You are not necessarily showing up as you should, right? The time you are supposed to show up, you're not there, right? The time you are supposed to pay attention, you're not there. The time you are supposed to listen, you're not there. The time you are supposed to do this or do that, you are not there. Come on. So there's going to be that lag, there's going to be that limitation, there's going to be that thing that is going to stop you from actually achieving the best or receiving the best from that process that you are going through, right? You would not have depth, you would not have real, true depth in whatever you're doing because you can't see, because you can't understand, because you can't perceive things based on the frequency at which those persons that do show up perceive them. Oh yes. So you are lagging behind, you are drawn behind, you are left behind because your perception and your understanding and the possibility of leverage that you have is very much what limited based on the knowledge that is only provided to you. And knowledge provided to you is what the knowledge that you only showed up for. So depth is a very important factor, and I'm going to break depth into three actually, into content, into context, and into relationship. All right. So you need depth in these three levels. You need depth in your relationship. You need depth in the context. You need depth in content. All right. To definitely flourish and benefit really from whatever thing or whatever engagement you are doing. A second. So it's important, right, to have depth. It's very, very important. It's crazy essential that you have depth. So first, which is context. They may teach something, they may say something, they may have a conversation going on within that platform. do. You'd have just very much limited opportunities because you lack what? Depth. Sorry about this. So depth is a very important factor, right? You lack context when you're absent. You lack context when you don't show up. You don't know the gravity of the content that has been discussed and where it was channeled to. So even if you might even have a content, but the context might be mistaken, right? That's the first side. The second side is you miss out on the content. Now, there may be a lot that has been discussed, a lot that has been said that cannot be captured even in words. Because sometimes when we communicate, we don't just communicate in words, we communicate even with emotions, with our gestures. Some things they cannot be said, but you just get the understanding. All right. So basically, we are saying that the depth of content will be reduced when you don't show up. So even if I tell you the summary, the depth of the content will reduce when you don't show up. Example is reading a book. Now you are trying to read the book fully. You pick a book and you read the book fully. And then somebody comes and he picks a summary of the book and reads. In that person's mind, he has done something quick, fast, and possibly maybe it feels like beneficial to him at that time or at that moment, right? But what you learn or what you understand at the eventual is that you have a greater knowledge, you have a greater understanding, you have a greater perception, you have a greater knowledge, depth of that concept than that person, because the person only receives summary. But you got to read and you understood the examples that the writer gave in the book. You understood how he connected several dots, this issue, that issue, that issue, brought several variables, several different experiences into one conversation and gave you a point. So it's holistic, it's full. You've seen it in different scenarios. But the only thing the person got was a summary, just the points that were laid. So the points may be cool, may be good, may be necessary, they may be great, but the person got only just the point and did not understand how those points can be applied, or did not see a picture where those points are being applied. So this